social pressures to have a kid is real, and certainly by a certain age, people expect you to have been pregnant, to have a child, probably even two. Knowing that you're single, that doesn't make any sense, and they're part of the problem. They're definitely part of the problem, and this whole baby mama culture, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem, and maybe you should go have a kid. I don't want any kids. Like, zero. Zilch. Nada. Not one. Not two. I don't want any kids. And unfortunately, I feel like that, like, strikes a lot of nerve with people. Because it's like, oh, you're a woman, you're put on this earth to reproduce and yada yada yada. Well, give me a better earth with better people and I'll reproduce all day long, you know? Like, come on, I don't want to be another statistic. I don't want to be a baby mother. And to be child free is my decision. Like, I don't understand why I get so much, like, backlash surrounding, like, family, friends, or even strangers when they ask me, do I have kids? Like, and then they go into this whole spiel, oh, you'll find the one, you'll have kids, this, that, and the third. Like, it's all just a momentary feeling. Like, no, I've pondered on this for a while. Like, I'm in my late 20s. Like, well, not late, I'm in my mid 20s. So, like, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about when I say I don't want to have kids. Like, it wasn't always like this either. It was like, I used to want one kid, and I used to always say, yeah, I just want a boy. Or I was a twin, but my twin passed away. So if I had my first time going around, if I had twins, I'll be fine with it. But now I'm just like, as I get older and older, and I see like the state of the world and people, just how disgusting and immoral people could be, I don't want any kids. Like, no. Did you guys know that Black maternal mortality rates are much higher of those of other races? Yeah. And one of the most biggest reasons that I found when doing the research about it is that when Black women go to these health facilities with concerns around their pregnancy, like cramping or whatever, it's not taken serious. It's taken very lightly. Oh, it's just this, go home and let it settle, you know? And it's things that could lead to further complications, which cause more stress on the mother, which can also, it's important to note that Black women experience complications such as hypertension, preeclampsia, and hemorrhage arise and can and certainly have ended in mortality, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the number one reason why me as a woman of color am, I want to say, reluctant anymore, but I'm definitely not having any kids. Baby mother, or in other words, a single mother, to be more politically correct. Um, I witness a lot of men ask you for a baby before they even ask for your hand in marriage. Like, I think that's a huge major flag, and that you should go running and you should automatically think to yourself, oh, he's trying to make me a baby mother. Because why are you willing to make that lifetime, because that's a lifetime commitment, that lifetime commitment, but when it comes to marriage, you get all in your feelings and, I don't know about marriage, but you're willing to have a kid. In my mind, it doesn't compute well, you know? It just doesn't compute well. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And then I don't want my child to feel like they're missing out on having a parent, because honestly, coming from a person who grew up with two parents, I never felt like I missed out on anything. So with having that experience, growing up, looking back, if I didn't have it, I would definitely feel like I missed out on a lot of things. For instance, my father taught me and showed me what a man is to be. to a woman. And my mother taught me what kind of man I should be looking for, you know? How I would like to be treated. You do, and you miss out on like just the love of two parents, like the overpowering love of two parents makes a huge difference. So yes, I get people coming from single parent households, how they feel like they are missing out. And again, I would never want my child to experience that ever. And also going off of that, I also don't want my child to feel like they're not loved because a parent decided not to be in their life when they most certainly should have. And feeling that way, I feel like a lot of kids turn to things that they're not supposed to turn to. For instance, maybe they turn to the wrong crowd of friends who's indulging in criminal activity or drinking alcohol or doing drugs. Drugs is a big one these days. We're literally in the middle of an epidemic when it comes to drugs. So I wouldn't want my child to bear that burden, you know? And I wouldn't want them to seek love in places they're not supposed to be seeking love from at all. And then another thing is, as a mother, if I was to have a son, I can't, despite what people want to argue all day long about, I cannot teach a boy to be a man. That is solely on his father to do that. Like, I'm a woman. I don't know what it is to be a man. I can't teach him that. And even for as a mom with a daughter, I could stress to my daughter all day long, oh, you should be with this man, this is the right man. But then she can turn around and look at me, well, you don't have a man, daddy's not around, so who are you to tell me what type of man I want? And then again, as I was saying, they go searching for love in all the wrong places. I've had friends like that where I witnessed they don't have a father, they have a mother. Their mother's a single mother. And they tend to gravitate towards the bad men. That's no good for them. They end up teenage mothers, you know, it just repeats the cycle. And I don't want that at all. Thing is, most men my age nowadays, they have at least one or two children. And I don't want to have anybody's umpteenth child, because to me, I'm sorry, this may sound selfish, and I get that it is selfish, but when I have my first kid, I want you to share that same special moment, and that being your first kid as well. I want you to look at my baby like, oh my God, this is the person that changed my life forever. Like, this is the person I want to do right by. This is the person that's going to be an amazing human being. This, that, and the third. Like, I don't want it to be my first and his second or third child, and it's not as special. You guys can say, oh, it's special. Your firstborn child, I'm sorry, that's going to be the most special kid you ever had. Like, it's not going to be the same, and I want the moment for us both to be the same. I want us to cry. I want us to be in the moment, like, never forget it. Like, I want that. Like, I don't want to share a moment that someone else has already shared with another person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And another thing is with men already having children is that I don't want to deal with anybody's baby mother. Like, whether it's drama or not, I don't want to have to deal with it, because I'm going to have to be involved. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if their child is going to be around me, I'm going to have to be involved with that parent. I don't want that. And then I don't want the inconveniences of my significant other having another child, meaning like, oh, today's Tuesday, he has to pick him up on Tuesdays, but we also have this plan, and it's just sticky situations that I don't want to find myself in. So going back to the whole baby mother thing, I don't want to fight my child's entire existence for you to be in their life. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want the back and forth of me trying to drop my child to you, me trying to force you to be in their life. I don't want it, because the truth is, if you wanted to be in their life, you would have been in their life. Nothing would have prevented you from doing so. And I don't like that people give excuses as to why people aren't present in a child's life. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't believe there's anything in the way of you being in a child's life unless you choose it to be that way. Because I don't want to endure the whole 9 months of pregnancy, me being alone, me not having that physical, emotional support. I don't want that. Like that's so like, the physical and emotional support is proven to increase the health of the pregnancy. Like, could you imagine you being pregnant for 9 months by yourself, like having to get up, do things that you normally could do on your own, but now it's like more stressful to do. That's just adding stress. You're emotional, you're crying, there's nobody there to comfort you. That causes stress. It's not healthy on a pregnancy. I want that pregnancy where I could lay back, get my feet rubbed, be loved on, like be treated like a princess, essentially. Like, I want that. You know? And I want somebody who also knows how to navigate, or even learns to navigate after pregnancy, the hormones, the postpartum, like navigate it with me, because it's my first time too, so I'm not knowing exactly what they should be doing, so how should he know? But as long as he's trying to learn and helping you out so you can get through this together, you know what I mean? Overall, I just feel like as a woman, and every woman should feel like this, to get, let me come up closer and say this actually, because this is important. Giving someone a baby, letting someone attach their sperm to your egg is a privilege, and it should be handled as such, okay? Please, 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 this should never be taken lightly. To have someone's baby should never be a decision that is made lightly at all. You hold the gift. The greatest gift you can give a man is inside of you. He should be honored to have your baby. If you feel otherwise, like that man is not valuing the power that you hold, baby, don't have no kids. Don't have no kids. And I'm not speaking on abortion at all in this video before your mind starts to, oh, 2 and 2 equals 4. No, I'm saying prevent it altogether. Like, do not put yourself in a position where you may or may not be pregnant by this person, you know? I feel like as a woman, you know when you meet your person, and at that point, if you feel like you want to give him a child, baby, give that man a child if you think he deserves it. But if you're iffy about it and you don't know this person seriously, do not ever give up that gift, baby. Hold on to it, because it is valuable. Like, I feel like women are just out here just throwing the eggs around for Tom, Dick, and Harry, and they don't, for one, you don't really know them. And this is not to say that you will ever truly know a person, because I believe that as humans, it's a fact that we constantly evolve, so you constantly have to not only learn yourself, but learn your partner as well. But you could get some type of idea from the morals, the family background of who this person is, who, you know? So if you're not seeing the family dynamics, you're not seeing certain moral characteristics, do not give that man no baby. Like, what? He's not deserving of your egg. Your egg creates life. Like, that's literally a child, an undeveloped child within you. And then you have to endure all the stress that comes with pregnancy for 9 months. Sometimes it's longer than 9 months too, like, and then complications. No, so I'm just gonna choose not to do it. I'm just gonna choose not to do it. And financially speaking, you need a two-parent household these days where both are working probably like 2 jobs each, honestly, if your job isn't that great of a job. Due to inflation, property taxes, rent skyrocketing, like there's a lot, and you do need a two-parent home. And I refuse to be, again, a baby mother that's receiving government assistance. Not saying, okay, yeah, let me give a disclaimer. This is not me bashing anybody on government assistance, but from what I come to realize from like seeing friends and traveling back and forth to New York, the government assistance is meant to be short term, meaning we're gonna help you out a little bit until you get back on your feet. These days, not even, I won't even say these days, but I'm seeing like a lot of people staying on government assistance. It's not really a short term thing, especially now that prices just keep going higher and higher. It's not a short term thing. If anything, it's a long term thing, especially in housing in New York City. Like, I feel like people, it's not funny. I feel like people are like passing down their housing to their children. Like, these are projects that their mother's been in, their mother's mothers, and down the list and down the list and down the list. Like, it's just something that's passed throughout generations. And I don't want that for my kid. I want to pass down land. I want to pass down things of value. Like, my kid, I don't want my kid to ever say, oh yeah, I got my mommy's housing. Like, yeah, we all lived in here. No, I want my kid to experience something different. Like, experience life in a way that doesn't make them feel any less than anyone else that they meet along the way in life from a different walk of life. And I get it, we all have different walks of life, but I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want my kid to be a statistic. I want us to walk a different path, a better path, you know? And again, like growing up, I don't want them to be exposed to certain things that come with living in housing, such as the type of people that hang around, just the ignorance, the misinformation. I don't want that to be a part of my kids' life. I don't want that to be our financial hubbub, so to say. Like, I need to be financially stable. I need to be, dare I say, I need to be rich. I need to be wealthy. Because we live in a capitalist society where things are not gonna get better, unfortunately. It's gonna seem like it's gonna get better, but it's not. It's not. Unless you're in that tax bracket, that textile, you're not, it's not gonna get better. Back to the two-parent household thing. That's literally just for the bare minimum necessities that these days you need two parents. Like, that's just for rent, food, laundry. Like, we're not talking about the child's education, the child's like extracurricular activities, and I want to be able to afford all of that. And let's be honest, in this world, in America, as a kid of color, you need some type of advancement in life. Like, you can't just be a regular black kid getting by. You can't just be a regular smart black kid getting by. You have to have some type of pizzazz, so to say. Like, you gotta either learn 2-3 languages, you gotta travel around the world, have some life experience, in which those are the things I naturally want to give my child. Like, I want to travel around the world with my child so they can experience different cultures, different languages. Not only so they can have that one up, but just because I come from people who love to learn. I love to learn, so I just want to give my kid better. You know, like, I grew up with two parent households. They got divorced when I was toward my end of my middle school year. Yeah, and I grew up in a loving household. I grew up where They taught me education was the most valuable thing we learned before we even entered the public school system. I ended up going to private school, and yeah, even when they split, it was still like, it was nothing but love. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing but love. My father was still a father. Like, it was great, and I just want to provide those things for my child. Like, I want to get a private tutor. I want to get all of that, just to instill like learning is important. You should be learning every day, and to have that one up when they get into these school systems, because I do intend on putting my kid in, well, I would intend on putting my kid into private schools and stuff like that. So another reason why I would want to afford these things is because, again, having that one up, not allowing people to demean you, saying, oh, you only got into here because of equal opportunity. Yeah, remember just a couple months ago they were trying to fight that in government? Like, what? How is being able to have fair rights, equal rights to education, higher education, an argument? Like, why is that an argument? Oh, you only got in here because you're a minority. Well, no, I'll bet you one thing, you won't be able to tell my kid that. Absolutely not. He or she is going to get into that school because they had the brains, they had the experience that the other applicants did not have. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no way. It's no way you will be able to take that from them. Another thing is, would I even feel comfortable with bringing my kid into this world the way we're experiencing all these different things at once? I don't think so. I don't want to bring a child in this world with constant worry, you know, because I feel like I will then become like this overprotective mom, which I know is also not good. Like, I don't want to have to worry about law enforcement when it comes to my child. I don't want to have to worry about friend groups, drugs, alcohol. I don't want to have to worry about healthcare system not treating my child correctly as they should in a professional manner. I don't want to worry about the system treating my kid unlawfully. I don't want to worry about the educational system treating my kid unlawfully. Like, I don't want to have to worry, and I don't want my child to feel like his or her only safe space is at home, because who wants to be at home all day, every day? Like, even homebodies, we get out at times, you know, and I would never want my kid to feel uncomfortable or unsafe going outside of his home, his or her home. I don't want that for my kid. I don't want that for myself, to drive myself mad, worrying all the time. I don't want that. And another reason, this is gonna be the last reason, and it's a personal reason. I know I'm unable to provide unconditional love to a child under a certain circumstance, in which I will not outright say because it'll cause some, you know, hate. And so if you get what I'm saying, you get it. But I will hate that I caused a child trauma, you know, that it brings in its adulthood, because I couldn't give them the love as a parent due to this thing, when it's my job to love them unconditionally, you know? So I wouldn't, and knowing that, I wouldn't bring a child in this world, because you never know. Just because I'm so, like, strong-minded about the situation, God may spite me and be like, well, look at you now, here you go, deal with the situation. And I know that's a situation that I wouldn't deal in correctly, if you catch what I'm saying. So for me, it's just best to not have any children, because again, I don't want to raise a child with trauma that affects their adulthood. And it's like, I would feel some type of way about it. Like, I know it was a personal choice of what I chose to do as a mother, but it was still saddened me because I don't want that.
I heard you just had you another little baby. Congratulations. I hope you got through it with no complications. I find it amazing